it, Queen, come on up. Okay? They try and tell you that this is going to break hands and fingers and everything else. It's actually designed, I gotta open it. It's actually designed to hold, not to slam and hurt. Because what happens is if I take and hurt the animal or put the animal into a situation that he does not feel that he can escape from, that's where the myth of I'll chew off my leg. So if I take this here and tie it to a branch to where it has give and movement, okay, then what's going to happen is he's always going to have the feeling that he can get away. Okay, if I stake it down solid, he's going to feel trapped and he's going to chew his leg up. So by studies and things like this here is how we take and evolve in predator hunting or in trapping. But what's happened is that we went from $50 to $100 to $12 value in a fur. So this fur right now, this one here I've got tanned. I can sell it as a curio item for more, but to take that and have that ready to go to market, which is dried, it has a $12 value. Well, it takes me time to go out there and get it and do this here, and then take and prepare it takes me about 2 hours. So they've taken the market away from the trappers being able to make a living at it. So now we have part-time trappers. Okay. You all noticed Jerry was up here a minute ago, and I had Jerry walk away, and I'm not going to leave him, forget about him, and leave him out there for 30 minutes again today. But I want you all to stand up, and in that tree line right there sits Jerry. So walk over here to the edge, and you guys try and find Jerry along those trees. He's sitting over there in my ghillie seat. No, don't go that far. Right there is good enough. So which tree is he sitting under?
You can see his head.
You can see his head. Where's his? Come here and point him out to me. How many trees over?
1, 2, 3.
Okay, here's that little gully. Where is he at from the little gully? Right, how far? How many trees? Are you sure about that?
Okay, so it looks like.
Kind
Kind of looks interesting.
of looks like he's out.
Yeah, behind the like dead lights. Yeah.
Okay, you guys got to find it more. So how many trees from this side or how many trees from this side?
You see the road behind the trees?
Yep.
Like kind of right where it starts to bend.
So right at the end of the, so in that tree right there. So the big tall tree in the front, he's the one tree to the right of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that where everybody agrees?
He has
Jerry, stand up.
he has his calls too.
Call. Raise your hand.
Tell him to call.
Jerry, sit down. Call.
That's hard to see though.
Yes. Now we're talking about a predator that doesn't
Yeah,
have eyes like yours. See how far and crisp and clear that sounds across the wet meadow? Okay, come in. So what we're dealing with here, and let's get into a little bit of the biology of the animal. Okay? Anybody know how animals see? What colors they see? Are their eyes just like ours? Do they see clear and crisp? Do they? What? Okay. What it is we actually have two situations going in our eyes. We have rods and cones. One of them allows us to see during the day, and in that we see full color. The other allows us to see at night, and at night, even though it's hard to pick out, but if you pay attention at night and you're out without light, like just moonlight or whatever, you only see black and white. Okay? You don't see, in tones of gray. Okay? Animals, and most people think that animals are nocturnal. Well, coyotes are not nocturnal, but they also don't have eyes like ours. So can anybody tell me what a coyote is? No. What he's considered. Is he nocturnal? Is he like us, to where we can see both? Is he okay? He's actually called crepuscular. Okay, crepuscular means he sees best at twilight. So what happens is that during the times of dusk and dawn, when the sun's down and it's still daylight, that's when he sees best. That's when he feels more comfortable. Okay, so why do coyotes bark at the moon? You guys ever hear the song "Bark at the Moon"? A little before. Why do coyotes bark at the moon? Whenever there's a full moon, boom, the coyotes, rah, 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 they're celebrating. Can anybody tell me why?
They can also see their laws.
Yes. But there's something associated with that. So what happens is, as they're out moving around and as they're hunting, they feel more comfortable. This means that they separate farther. Okay? So now what they're doing is they're not within sight, and they're barking and howling back and forth to keep track of everybody within the pack and know where they're at. And this is where the whole howl of the moon thing come up from, is because they are more active during that time. To them, during full moon is when they see the best. That is like us walking around in daylight. Okay? And so the hunting and the activities and everything like that. When it's a new moon, they're not as comfortable. They don't see as well. They hold tighter together. Okay? As far as in the clarity of their eyes are virtually, a lot of people think that they see like a turkey or like a hawk. Okay? They don't. They actually have kind of a semi-clear area in the center, and then it's kind of fuzzy, and their eyes are geared to see movement. Okay? So when movement, a rabbit jerks, a mouse jumps, all these things are very jerky, very fast movement. That's what their eyes are designed to see. So when we're hunting, everything out there moves. The wind moves, the trees, the bushes, this, that. So anytime that you're hunting, and this is no matter what it is, anything you move like everything else, just real slow, like the wind was blowing the branches. Okay? And that's how you become successful. If you try to race them, you will lose. And when I say try to race them, my gun's here, and I don't care what I'm shooting, and I try and jerk it up and get on them, jig's up. They've seen that. They're out. It's now danger. Okay? So, back to the way that their eyes work. You guys say they see black and white. They actually see ultraviolet. They see in the blue spectrum. This is why they say that Levi's are bad. So if you want to actually see how they see during twilight times, go home and take a black light and go like this here. And has anybody seen how that makes your clothes or your t-shirt or whatever glow? Boom. That's what a coyote sees at twilight. That's what deer see at twilight. So that's why what we use is in all of our camos and stuff we buy, some of what they call the urban camos, which is the stuff that's bought for fashion, okay? They have what they call UV brighteners. Does anybody know what UV brighteners do? UV brighteners stop your clothes from fading. That's why when you see one of these old guys like here that's had his camo a long time, he washes it in hunter soap, which has a UV killer in it. Or he washes it in a baking soda or something like this here. And all this stuff is designed to take the UV brighteners and the UV protectants out of it. UV protectants and UV brighteners are like sunscreen for your clothes. But what it does is it causes your clothes to glow. So when you look at my ghillie, there ain't nothing shiny and pretty about it, okay? The old camo is better because of the UVs being taken out of it. So, we covered eyes. Anybody got any questions on eyes and how they work? See, these girls have pink on their camo. I've heard people out there rudely say, "What are you doing, hunting flamingos?" Well, let's sit and define that. We know that they can't see the hunter orange on your hat because in many, many states they demand that you wear hunter orange in everything except for turkeys. And the reason that it's everything instead of turkeys is because birds, raptors, and turkeys actually see it a full spectrum. They will see red. So why is it that her pink camo is fine? Because it's in the red spectrum. So their eyes see everything, your orange hat, your pink, your red. This here is the earliest camo recorded to man. Remember seeing the old movies and everything? All the hunters were in red plaid shirts because it breaks it up. It takes and breaks up the outline. It's red. They see it as gray, just as they see the pink and the orange. People ask me, how can you predator hunt in a red truck? Everything sees you coming. And I'm like, you fool. They don't see red. That's why we can wear hunter orange. Any questions on how their eyes work? No? Their eyes also taste delicious. You know how I know? It's the first thing a crow will eat. Okay? And we now all know that crows don't eat anything that's not delicious, huh? Okay. What other sensories in hunting predators or other animals do we need to pay attention to? Smell. We're going to get to that one because that's the creme de la creme. That's my favorite. How about hearing? Okay. Their ears. Okay. With a coyote, we can fool their ears and we can fool their eyes. I just give you a very long dissertation on how we fool their eyes with camo. Number one thing is, like Jerry said, break up the human form, break up the outline. That's what camo is all about. Okay? I want to look like a bush out there more than anything else. So that's why when I'm sitting in my stand, I'm pulling my head down and I'm actually leaning in like this here to add that round bush look and not give a head and shoulders. With their ears, I can fool them easily. That sound that Jerry made over there, all I want you to do is you guys go home, blow a call, whistle, go, and watch what your dog does. They act the same way. Okay? So what I do, a lot of people say, well, I want to start off real soft and I want to call real soft to anything that's just right here. I don't want to blow it out. Okay? My philosophy is when a hawk comes down and nails that rabbit, them talons sink into it. Okay? I got a buddy that actually hunts with a golden eagle. Okay? You guys know what falconry is, right? Those talons have 3,500 pounds of pressure at the tips of them. Okay? They're this long. He has to wear special thick leather gloves to hold them. So when that eagle or that hawk comes down and it nails a rabbit, do you think that rabbit sits there and goes, ow, that hurt. Oh, stop doing that. I'm going to tell. If you don't stop, I'm going to scream. Is that how he does it? No. What does he do? Ah! Okay. He acts like situations just got nutty as he jumped over the barbed wire fence. Okay? You boys know what I'm talking about. Things get bad when you go to try and jump barbed wire fences. That's how I start, that's how I call, that's how I do a stand. Start, in, middle, finish, whatever. Why? Because I want him, his ears, to connect with his emotions, not with his brain. I want his ears to connect with his instincts, not with his brain. So if I walked up to you and I went like that there, but I didn't hit you, I just come real close, what are you going to do? You're going to flinch, jerk back, you're going to react. Okay? I want him to react. I don't want him to think. If he thinks, I got problems. Okay? I want him to react. Okay? So, the ears, how far away can a, and I talk coyotes in general, because what I do is I hunt coyotes, and when I hunt coyotes, fox come in, bobcats come in, lions come in, antelope, deer come in, all of these things react to a call. So How far away can a coyote hear this? If I How far do you think a coyote can hear that? Close to a mile. I've actually sat there, and I got a little call of death I use here. I forgot I brought those over here. Nah. And I've watched them stand up at 300 yards. Stand up and start coming toward me. Oh, they hear an immense amount of distance. Their ears are very crazy, not like ours. So, the sound that you make
James, I left my phone out there.
Oh, did you?
James don't even remember where I was.
Do you have Verizon?
It's probably turned off.
Oh, your phone's turned off? I was going to call it.
Yeah.
I was calling it. too.
Okay. So now, in order to study their ears,
Hey!
bingo! Now, in order to study their ears, okay, I don't care what you're hunting. I don't care if you're hunting deer, antelope, coyotes, bear, whatever. You want to be a successful hunter, you need to pay attention to the biology of the animal. So you need to know what he eats, where he lives, what he drinks, how often he drinks, and so forth and so on. So the more you can learn about what the
He needs to be in front of that tree.
the habitat, whatever of the animal, the more successful you're going to be. Because can I hunt elk in Yuma? Why? Because there's no elk there. Okay? They don't have habitat for elk. Can I hunt coos deer in Utah? No, because they're not there. So the more I learn about their habitat and everything about them. So let's back up here to ears. So if I'm calling an animal, what do I need to know about sound? I need to know what sound is, all the way down to the breakdown. Sound is a vibration that feeds from your vocal cords or from anything else, from rapping something or doing something, that flies through the air, this vibration that our eardrums and their eardrums are designed to pick up. So if I'm calling in a very brushy area, my sound is not going to travel so far because it's traveling across something rough and it's getting broken up. And if you think about it as water goes through a brushy area, it'll start moving around things and moving different directions. This is how the vibration works. Okay. Now, on a cool, crisp morning that we have some dew out there and it's very calm and no wind, my sound will go forever. I've sat here, I've sat on the highway on the other side and listened to those elk in the middle of that prairie mew. Okay? You just sit there and you'd just be sitting there hearing them all going. Okay? I'm a mile away from them. And that's my ears. My ears don't work as good as theirs. What else affects the flow of that sound? Very nice. If I'm calling upwind, my sound is not going to go as far this way as what it goes this way. That vibration is going to jump on that wind and ride it, but it's not going to fight up it very well. If I'm calling the wind's going this way, they're going to hear me better over here than what they hear me here. Okay? So by studying these things, okay, let's get to the nose. Any questions on the ears or how they work? Let's get to the nose. It's my favorite part. Because this here is the life support system of a coyote. Okay, because you can fool his eyes. I showed you how to do that. I can fool his ears. Anybody want to put their hand in the trap? Do it. Oh, you got a stick. Come on. Don't be a little Nancy. Did you do it before? Oh.
He did it.
Boom! Did it hurt? Nah, did it break anything?
Thank you, sir.
Okay. nose are the life support because we can fool their eyes. Showed you how to do that. We can fool their ears. We've showed you how to do that. But let me tell you about their nose. If your mom was cooking a roast, okay, for dinner, and you walked in after school or after being out or doing whatever, dance or ballet or whatever it is you do, and you smelled that roast, I know I'd say, wow, dinner smells good. That's a good smelling roast. You know what a coyote would say if he could talk? He could say, I smell onions and carrots and celery and garlic and maybe a little black pepper and some beef and on and on and on. He smells in layers. Okay? So rather than smelling the mirage of things, he smells each and little thing. And this is because his olfactories are 50 times what our olfactories are. I was sharing that yesterday, and the kids were really liking to play with it, spray it on each other. It's a can of fox pee. So we had some little kids over here that was wanting to spray it on each other and having fun with it. We decided that was not a good idea. You guys, would you like some fox pee?
Keep it or
Girls?
spray it on?
No, to spray it on you.
Oh,
No. A little perfume. So anyhow, their olfactories are like, and I don't know the number, man, but they're like 100 times what ours are. To the point that they even have flaps within their nasal passages that they can capture smell to evaluate later. No, they don't? No, you don't want pee.
No.
No, yeah, he was sitting over there going, this guy don't know what he's talking about. Oh, I see. He was back there going to spray pee on me.
Ah, God.
And you didn't tell me. What a pal you are. Do 10 laps around the meadow. So anyhow, so basically what happens is where does this leave cover set? If I say, hey, look, I ain't showered. I've been out here hunting all weekend and everything. I'm going to spray out some fox pee and cover up the fact that he knows I'm a human. How does that work? He smells in layers. Now he's going to smell the fox pee. He's going to smell me. He's going to smell my bad breath. He's going to smell the burrito I had for breakfast this morning and probably a little bit of salsa I got on my shirt. He smells it all in layers. So that's why we take, and if coyote is upwind, my smell ain't going that way. I don't worry about that. What I worry about is straight downwind. So if the wind is blowing toward that Dodge truck right there, I look at a string on me from there to there. And this will work with elk, javelina, deer, antelope, everything else. So if I call in a coyote in this prairie, okay, what he's going to want to do, once he determines, hey, I can't figure this out, he's going to want to figure it out. And his nose is his life support system. It runs 100%. So he's going to want to find cover, and he wants to circle, and he wants to end up right there where he can smell me. So as a hunter, what's my job? Don't let him get there. Okay? Because once he gets there, jig's up. Okay? And he won't stay there very long because he'll be able to figure out what's going on. So when I call in a coyote, how long do I have to say, harvest him, shoot him, do whatever?
A second.
Pardon me?
A second.
A second. Anybody got any other numbers? How long? Come on. 10 seconds. They're way low. So you need to go higher. 3. Jerry, how long do I have to shoot that coyote when he comes in?
Depends.
Exactly. You know how long I have? Until he figures out what I am. His curiosity will keep him there until he knows. So, if he's a situation to where he's never been to this dance before, he'll wait till he gets all the way to there. If he's been to this dance before and he comes in, he sees something he doesn't like, boom, he's out. So sometimes it's a second, sometimes it's 10 seconds, sometimes I've actually sat there on a stand that we were trying to get this one guy his first coyote. Okay? I sat there on a stand for 20 minutes watching 5 coyotes circle us. Going, come on, let me shoot him, guys, come on, please, let me shoot him. I went, wasn't saying that out loud, but that's what I'm thinking. And so we had these 5 coyotes circle us for 20 minutes. Okay? Because they couldn't get to the spot that they wanted to get to. They couldn't get to the wind without walking right out into a meadow like this and smelling us. And they wasn't going to. Okay? Their nose is what they rely on 100%. So, I don't know what you covered, Jerry.
I just called.
You just called. You did what you did.
Yeah, I do what I do.
Okay. So we covered why we hunt them. We covered kind of what's going on with them. Tried to think of what I'm missing, Jerry. Help me out here. Covered the dates of trapping. You guys have any questions? How many of you guys want a predator? How many of you have? Successful? Yeah? Man, seen one, shot one? Seen one, shot one?
I shot one.
You shot one?
Yeah, I shot one.
You shot one? You shot one? Where at?
The
Northern?
What's the closest they've gotten into you guys?
They ran out around the corner and we didn't see them. They were like 10 yards away.
Yeah. Yeah. My favorite is when they're like from here to that pole. Okay. So, you shot it on the north rim. Where'd you shoot yours?
Strawberry.
Strawberry. Where'd you shoot yours? Or C1 or?